Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, P game. All right, so it appears that a few teams are interested in the services of Derek Carr, and that could be including the Raiders because they may be looking at this scenario with Trey Lance and Jimmy G in San Francisco. So they may hold on to him. But it looks like in all likelihood that the Raiders are going to part ways with Carr after the season due to the fact that he was benched the final few games. Just basically very inconsistent throughout his career, very up and down. There were some games where Derek Carr looked like he was possibly an MVP candidate, and then all of a sudden he'll just have games where he just couldn't make plays. And one of the problems with the Raiders, the Raiders should have a better record than what they finished with in this season, because if the Raiders were just had been able to accumulate points in second halves and not blow leads, the Raiders would have won a lot more games. The Raiders probably could have finished 9-9, and they could have finished probably 9-7. But at the end of the day, the Raiders they would just self-destruct in the second half of these games. And that was just the bottom line. Now, with that being said, they seem to be a few teams that's looking at possibly Derek Carr. You're hearing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think that'll be a good fit for Derek Carr. And that really comes down to what Tom Brady wants to do if and when or ever if Tom Brady decides to retire. Then there's the Saints. You've been hearing about the Saints. You've been hearing about the Washington Commanders. I wouldn't be surprised if the Falcons might be interested in Derek Carr. Also, you're hearing about the Pittsburgh Steelers. So there's a few teams that's interested in the services of Derek Carr. I think the Raiders should just move on from him. Now, as far as what the Raiders are going to do in free agency, as far as a quarterback go, I'll talk about that later on. But I think Derek Carr is a solid quarterback, but I just don't think he's what you would call a quarterback that can get you to the playoffs and get you to the Super Bowl and win it. I think if you're a team that at least wants to be competitive or semi-competitive, and I think maybe it's that system that he's in. Maybe he'll fit well in a different system under a different coach. But I feel like it's just time to move on from Derek Carr, and that's just my personal opinion. I don't have nothing personal against him. It's just what I'm, assessing. That's just my assessment of him. I've seen this long enough with Derek Carr, and it's just time for the Raiders to go a different direction. Now, what should the Raiders do? Should they try to, do a trade or just release him? We all know that football contracts don't mean nothing. So it's like they don't mean nothing. I think the Raiders should try to trade him and try to see can they get something for him. But yeah, that's my opinion of the whole thing. But anyway, it's your boy Town Biz. I'm out.